So, apart from welcome to the first annual conference from Vision, I'd like to introduce Fiona Bruce, who's a Member of Parliament for Congleton, and she is our patron, and she's going to come and say a few words.
Thank you very much, Chrissy. Vision is quite simply one of the most impressive organisations in my constituency. It's a privilege to be your patron. It's been a privilege to mention Vision positively in the House of Commons chamber more than once, and it's a privilege to open today's conference. So thank you very much for inviting me to come along. I would not only like to welcome you all here today, but I'd also like to pay a particular tribute to every single one of you who in your different ways contribute to the work of Vision, because no organisation succeeds like Vision has done without strong leadership. And again, I want to thank you, Chris, for what you're doing. I have watched in awe as Vision has grown from strength to strength in the short time in which I've been a Member of Parliament. I'm still saying I'm a new girl, so you carry on for as long as you like. And that's just under 3 years. But an organisation like this also succeeds only with the teamwork and the contribution of every single person who makes a difference. And that's all of you. So thank you so much for all that you do. It makes me very proud to have Vision in my constituency. I'm excited about the refurbishment project that you've embarked on. Indeed a bold move this time, as you say, of some austerity. But I think that's right, because you're a professional organisation. You deliver high standards, and you want to exhibit that by the very appearance of the building. And already I can see, coming in from the last time I was here, what a difference this room shows. Fantastic improvements that you've already made. And I've been asked in particular to thank a number of organisations as patron of Vision. I want to thank REN. This is the not-for-profit community grant awarding organisation which obtains money from the Landfill Communities Fund. Now, when I was councillor in Warrington, where my business still is, I always thought that the Landfill Communities Fund was really for coalfields areas, but we're stretching it quite some distance here, and I'm very glad we are. And REN actually are very generous to the Congleton constituency, and I'm very pleased about that. But I can't think of a more positive contribution for them to make than to this building, because I know, and it was mentioned to me only last night, that not only is Vision doing its own work here, but you're also opening up the building to the wider community. I heard about the lunches for the elderly that you're holding, and you're honouring the commitment through that was made when you took on the building. I think therefore particularly good that REN are providing that money. Excellent to see the Flowcrete floor that I'm sure my co-patron has had something to do with, and so I do want to pay tribute also to her. I believe we're going to have a new hearing loop and PA system. That will be very welcome. I'm so glad that you've got this. It's in. Yes, I'm so glad it's in. Because I had to speak last night in a hall without a microphone, and I've actually spent 10 days in Africa on government business, scrutinising the aid work in Ethiopia. And it was glorious. The sun was fantastic. It was like, you know, a really brilliant August. And I caught the most horrendous cold. So I thank you for the microphone tonight, because I'm sure hopefully you can hear it at the back. So wonderful work that you're doing here. I am informed that the kitchen is now complete. The floor just needs a little bit of finishing touches, and you've got roof repairs, stage partitioning and storage to be completed in April. So the sky really is the limit. Congratulations and thanks also to the project management company, Quinn Interiors, Hampton Dean Construction, and everyone else who has made a contribution towards the fabric of the building. But I do want to say one more thing. I want to tell you a little story. How long have we got? I just said this the other day, and it really struck me that it applies to Vision. And it goes like this. There was an auction, and the auctioneer had auctioned off some really valuable items, and then he'd come to the end of the day, and there was this battered old violin at the end of the auction, and he thought, well, it doesn't look like it's worth very much, but I'll see if I can get rid of it. So he held up this very battered-looking object, and he said, will anyone bid me anything for this? And someone looked at it rather disparagingly and said, well, it might be worth £1, but they didn't bid. And the auctioneer said, well, will anybody bid me £1? £2, £3, anyone? No one did anything at all. And then, slowly, an old man got up from the back of the room, and he walked down to the front of the auction house, and he picked up the violin, and he started playing. And out of this old battered violin came the most beautiful melodic sound you could ever imagine. And after he played for some time, he put down the violin, and the auctioneer picked it up, and he said, who will bid now for this violin? And the violin sold, not for one, not for two, not for £3, but for £3,000. And after that, a number of people said, what made the difference? And the answer was the touch of a loving hand. The touch of a loving hand from that old man. And that really struck me as what Vision is all about. You are, with loving hands, touching lives that have been, for different reasons, battered, hurt, broken, suffered disappointment, suffered relationships that haven't worked out, suffered from the false values that I think today's society is alluring young people into, many of which are bound to fade and disappoint. And so many of those young lives are coming to you with a sense of a lack of worth, just like that old violin. But what you do is, with your loving hands, you're touching them and you're making them realise that every single person who's ever been born has worth and value and has an importance, and you're rebuilding and re-strengthening those lives, and you're making them have the opportunity to deliver that lovely melodic sound that every individual can give, given a chance and given the love that you are giving them. And I just want to thank you for the transformation that you are giving to so many young people's lives. I think it's priceless, and I pay tribute to you all, and it's my privilege to be here today to say that and to today's annual conference. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much. What a lovely story to kick us off for the day, actually. It makes me feel like, ooh, yes.